cast out, unable to set foot on land for more than one cycle of the sun.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon the sci-fi original television series with the name of Sinbad. I'm going to talk about episode 5 titled Hunted. And without any further ado, let's go into it, shall we? As the title suggests, pretty much what this episode of Sinbad on Sci-Fi is about is Sinbad is being hunted. He is actually being hunted down by two different groups of people. He is being hunted down by the Basra guards, and who actually sent the Basra guards is actually, our villain character. If you've been keeping up with Sinbad series, you know that our villain character is none other than the character of Lord Akbari. And the reason he is hunting down Sinbad in the first place is, because, he left his son for dead. He wants, his son's blood debt to be paid, vengeance, revenge. He wants all of those things to come out on Sinbad. So he has sent the Basra guards after Sinbad in order to bring him back into his possession so he can, have his bidding with him. But not only that, but we also have our sorcerer character. His sorcerer is doing, magic and the black arts and dark magic and all those sorts of things. And in this episode, she actually summons up a creature to actually go after Sinbad's character. And it's actually something that she actually uses, a piece of hair and an heirloom that Sinbad has. And the only way Sinbad can defeat this creature is if he doesn't fear it and he calms down and he actually comes to terms with himself and who he is, and that's the only way he can defeat it, is if he doesn't actually fear the creature. But the more fear, the more anger, and the more rage and wrath that he shows towards the creature, the creature will only get more powerful. So he has to calm down, and be at peace with himself, in order to defeat the creature. That's pretty much the main gist of episode 5 titled Hunted for the sci-fi original television series with the name of Sinbad. Of course, we have other subplots going on. We have that one big central plot of, him being hunted down by Lord Akbari. We have other things going on also, now that, he is being hunted down by himself, his crew is having to fend for themselves, and his crew is actually held captive by our, sorcerer our black magic character, girl character. They're being held captive by her, and if they don't give her the information she needs, then she will kill them one by one. So we have that little thing going on. We also find out quite a bit, and all we really need to know about one of our essential characters. I don't know the character's name or the actor's name, but he's the one with the blonde hair and the blonde beard. And he said he's a trader, he said he's a farmer, but we actually get to find out quite a bit about his backstory. We find out in this episode, major spoilers coming up, that he's actually a warrior, and that he used to kill families, husbands, wives, their children. It was a part of his job, think of Viking pretty much. That's what this guy used to be. Now he's just a farmer. So he's been keeping his life secret from Sinbad. Not only Sinbad, but Sinbad's entire, crew, sailor followers, crew. So, we find out really who this guy is. He's actually being hunted down. Not only is Sinbad being hunted, but his character is also being hunted down by a crew that wants to kill him. And other major spoilers coming up. So if you don't like spoilers, go ahead and click pause. Otherwise, keep watching, right? Around the end of this episode, he ends up gaining these people's respect because he ends up, no regard for his life. He ends up risking his life in order to save Sinbad, giving Sinbad the advice he needs in order to take down the creature that the sorcerer summoned. That's pretty much the main gist, with all subplots included, of episode 5 titled Hunted for the sci-fi original television series with the name of Sinbad. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on episode 5 of sci-fi series known as Sinbad, I really enjoyed this episode. One of the things I love, one of the many aspects, I love Sinbad so much, but one of the many aspects why I love this show so much is it's just so fun and entertaining to watch. The stories are told in such, like I said, in my last review, told in such an intricate way where it just makes it really fun and overall just an entertaining to watch. Sinbad and his crew of followers go on these many adventures that they go on, always getting themselves into bad situations that I'm sure they wish they, wouldn't and, shouldn't have been in. And in this particular episode, one of the many reasons I liked it was not only do we get to learn a lot about Sinbad, because, Sinbad is pretty much our main, character, but we get to know more about our supporting characters. We get to know more about the crew. the first actual 30 minutes of this episode actually focuses on the crew. We see Sinbad mainly and the other guy. We learn about their story after, the first 30-40 minutes of the episode. But the first 30 minutes is about the crew being with the sorcerer. So we get to see, this, his, crew of followers, his other sailors. We actually get to see them, fend for themselves, be in a certain situation, and see how they would react to things without their lead character, their captain of their ship, Sinbad. So it was really cool to see this crew without Sinbad. I like their the character interactions between each other. I like the interaction between the sorcerer girl character. She's kind of a villain. But it seems like after this episode, she might play, on the fence, because Sinbad was generous towards her around the end of the episode, sparing her life and not killing her, even though she tried to, not really kill him, but tried to at least capture him. And now it seems like she might ride on both sides of the fence, though even though around the end of this episode she's still working for, our Lord Akbari, our villain character. She might be on both sides of the fence after that. Well, anyways, like I said earlier, I really like how it focuses on the crew, and all those actors stand out as a whole, making up for a phenomenal episode in general. And I also like, not only does it focus on the crew, Sinbad always being our main essential character, great actor played by Elliot Knight playing our Sinbad character. And I always like Sinbad. We know plenty about his character 5 episodes in, but we really haven't found too much about, the guy with the blonde hair and the beard. And that's what I really like, was we found out who he was in this episode. We really found out who he was. We found out, his reasoning for being. We found out how, actually, how sympathetic his actual character can be. And that's what I really liked, that we found out about characters that we didn't previously know too much about, his crew, the guy with the beard, and then towards the end, best scene in this entire episode is the sympathy that character shows towards Sinbad. He has a chance to join this crew, but instead he decides to stay with his friend Sinbad because, that's what he wants to do. So I love the sympathy that that guy plays with this character, the guy with the blonde hair and the blonde beard. And I also like the sympathetic way that Elliot Knight playing Sinbad's character. He brings a lot of heart and compassion, and plays his character with a lot of of empathy that allows you to feel for his character in a nice, I guess you could say, compassionate way. Or overall, it makes it for a satisfying watch in general. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode as a whole. The story in this episode, is absolutely amazing. I really like this episode in general, and I can't wait to see where the series is going to go. Next week's episode is called Episode 6, The Siren, and it comes on, as always, every Saturday, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock for everyone else. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Sinbad Geek for my Episode 5 review of The Hunt for the sci-fi original television series known as Sinbad. Once again, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos by Sinbad Geek.